Sports pundit Stephen A. Smith has officially announced he's considering a run for president in 2028. Smith posting to X last night, writing, "Time to stop messing around. Life is great, especially at ESPN Disney. Hate the thought of being a politician, but sick of this mess. So I am officially leaving all doors open."
What's up, y'all? You saw it. Word on the street is Stephen A. is seriously considering running for president. And we're going to talk about it. But before I break it down, I want you to take a look at Stephen A. himself explain his plans and intentions.
Deion Jefferson. Stephen A., just a super huge fan, Steve. Question, why don't you run for some sort of office? I think you'd be great. You'd have my vote. Please answer. Huge fan. Peace and love. First of all, the only office I would ever be interested in is the presidency of the United States. That's it. I wouldn't be interested in being a governor, a mayor, a senator, damn sure not a congressman. I don't want to be one of 435. I don't think I would be a very good campaigner because I ain't the greatest in the world at shaking hands and kissing babies. But I know I'd make decisions and I wouldn't hesitate. I'd tell you this much, there'd be law and order. And I ain't talking about Trump style. We gonna do business in the United States. Businesses ain't gonna be scared to open their doors and only let 2 or 3 people in at a time because somebody gonna get robbed. Oh, hell no, not under my watch. Oh, it'd be different if I was in charge. I tell you that much. We gonna have borders, but you gonna come in legally. I'm not gonna build a wall, but I'm gonna send your ass back. We ain't gonna be like it says Six Flags and everybody standing in line for 2 or 3 hours and then right before it's time for you to get on a ride, somebody jumps in front of you. No, we ain't having that. But I wouldn't go as far as Trump. I certainly wouldn't separate children from their parents, and I certainly wouldn't sit up there and say, well, if you're born in this country to an illegal immigrant, that means we're going to deny you citizenship if you was born on American soil. I wouldn't do that. And I wouldn't curtail immigrants from coming into this country because that's what helped make this country as great as it is. But you're going to stand in that line now. You're going to stand in that line. I may not send you back, but I'm going to send you to the back of that damn line. I know that much. But we're going to have a flourishing economy if I was the president. We're going to respect our law enforcement officials. You law enforcement, black folks better not be the only unarmed people you killing. You ain't gonna kill anybody then. But we ain't gonna act like all police officers are doing that when 95% of them ain't thinking about such a thing. I'm gonna do what I can to make us prosperous. Again, I can't ever see myself running for office. But if I was President Stephen A., President S.A., President Smith, that's how it would be. You heard me, I said it.
That was Stephen A. himself. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe every word that came out of his mouth. The boy is serious, y'all. He is serious. 100% Stephen A. is drooling, not just wanting to run. He is drooling at the opportunity to run because, you know, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that Donald Trump is some kind of fluke and some blooming idiot that ran for president and has proven to the whole world that anybody can win the job of president. But Donald Trump, I got news for you. He ain't no fool. He's a shrewd businessman, a very successful businessman, and a proven survivor who gets things done. He's a hell of a leader. I don't care what you think about him. So it's a facade that the Democrats and a lot of these lefties believe that Donald Trump is some evidence that anybody can become president. anybody can become president. Number one, you got to be able to survive the scrutiny. And if you worth anything and you mean to do any good, you're going to have to survive the attacks from basically Satan himself. Okay? Our government is filled with demons, goons and goblins and everything else. And Trump, by the grace of God, I mean literally by the grace of God, has survived everything they threw at him. So people who really know that this is our time. This is our chance to get back on our feet. And the people prove that against all odds, we would choose the right leader. And honestly, the choice was simple. You got a corpse in Joe Biden or a paperweight in Kamala Harris, or one of the most incredible leaders of our time. And the crazy thing is Donald Trump, and I know this video isn't about Donald Trump, but I gotta make this point because this is what's making people like Stephen A think that they can do it too. Because he thinks he's the black version of Donald Trump. He thinks that if I go out here and I act crazy, which he does, I'll be accepted like Donald Trump. First of all, everybody, including the Democrats, at some point wanted Donald Trump to run for office, the office of presidency. It wasn't until he turned his back on the Democratic Party and tried to shut them down that they turned their back on him and tried to shut him down. Stephen A has never been desired or desirable for that position. So he's fooling himself into thinking that he can do it. Personally, I think he's trying to warm us up to the idea, but he's already made up in his mind that he thinks he can do it. But I got news for you. I got news for you, Stephen A. It's not going to work out how you think. And I do believe you know that. That's why you just signed that $100 million contract. Okay. Yeah, presidency, nobody's going for that. I think Stephen A would lose in the primary, to be honest with you. I don't think he'd make it out of the first round of the presidential playoff. How about that? Y'all let me know what you think. If you disagree, if you like Stephen A for president, you might be one of them that thinks he can do it. Put it in the comments. I want to talk with you about it. I want to hear about it. I don't believe Stephen A got a snowball's chance in hell of making it out of the first round of the presidential playoffs, better known as the primaries. Like this video, share this video with your friends. Let them know about Out of the Box with Law Hilson. I'm Law Hilson. And subscribe. Somewhere on here is a button or something. And yeah, let me know what you think because we need your voice. Peace.